brought us closer together. You get to see the kind of how people react when things start going, a little chaotic and whatnot. And Coach Meyer really does a great job bringing that out in us during practice. We got three new starters, but from what we see in practice and what Coach Stud and Coach Meyer have been able to really do, it's been we'll see on game day.
How much do you guys need to accomplish though as a line this week, considering that Pat was limited by his shoulder before, and I guess you were playing a little bit of center.
I was playing everything. I think really, Pat's experience, I don't think he really hasn't skipped a beat. We've been able to get a little bit of continuity back with him. You just got to continue to see those reps between Isaiah and Michael Jordan and Jamarco. Just continue to build the chemistry.
Against Virginia Tech in 2014 with the young line, there were 6 fourth-quarter sacks. Oklahoma coming up in week 3. How do you make sure that y'all gel and get it together before then?
I think as an older guy, Pat and I, is to make sure that those guys stay calm. Probably one of the biggest things when I played Virginia Tech was like everything starts flying so fast and you can't get control of the situation, the chaos early, and then one thing leads to another, and then you have 6 fourth-quarter sacks. So I think my job is to make sure, because I've been there in that situation, I was one of those sacks, to really just stay calm, be collected. You've been in practice, you've done the reps, you've been in many, many situations, so let's prevent the breakdown and the chaotic breakdown.
Billy, with that in mind, this is a young team on paper and stuff. What has come right, I guess, about this squad that you've noticed over the last 3 or 4 weeks of preseason camp? If you noticed some guys growing up, what have you seen in that regard?
Absolutely. I think a lot of guys have really taken hold of the accountability aspect that we're trying to push. We may be young on paper, but it doesn't really, you really couldn't tell.
Yeah.
And that's something that we're really looking forward to seeing it actually on Saturday.
Who is a young guy that you definitely are interested to see how he will respond in front of 108,000 when it's 90 degrees or whatever it's going to be?
I think the receiving corps. They've got a lot of special athletes in that group. A lot of guys who are playmakers, explosive. So to really see what those guys can do. There's not just 2 or 3. There's 5, 6, 7, 8 of those guys. And that's the luxury we have here.
And you guys were really looking forward to seeing Noah Brown pop into the frame last year until a week before camp and stuff. What have you seen especially out of him from your, just the way I guess he's responded in this camp?
I think he's done a great job of leadership in that unit. He catches everything. I know JT really, really likes him as a receiver.
Yeah.
So I just really take for him and Corey Smith and Dontre, Curtis Samuel, those guys who really take that leadership and push that unit to continue to be, don't ever be, satisfied.
So last year you had tons of talent, special level talent. It seemed like the pieces didn't always fit perfectly. Didn't score 50 points in the game all year. What's the potential of this offense? Do you feel like the pieces mesh differently and better?
I think each team is unique. So to say differently and better, I don't want to, if this team is better than last year, I don't want to claim that or say that at all. Like I said, each team is unique. So the chemistry between all the units and the offense, it's different. But you won't really be able to say, is it statistically better? We'll see. That's not. Our goal is to make sure we win every game. Take it week by week and win a game. So if the cogs are meshing together well, then that's what we want as an offense.
And do you see